Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Cape Town Sevens. And this one, it's a part of a group stage, but it's the equivalent of a final. South Africa taking on the Fijians. Both sides getting themselves victories in their first contest. Fiji, very impressive win, 33 points to nil over the French, who are playing now, struggling a bit up against the Canadians. This game's running a bit later, which is why this game between South Africa and Fiji has not quite kicked off yet, whereas there was a good win for the South Africans. They had to dig deep in that second half up against Canada. They got there in the end, I believe about 19 points to 7, but now it's going to be an exciting game when these two sides clash in Cape Town. Looking through at the South African starting lineup, Ryan Oosterhuizen, Impie Visa, JC Pretorius, Saviwe Sawyers Mapi, Muller Duplessis, Shelton Van Wyk, and also the pocket rocket himself, Ricardo James Duarte. A very strong Blitzboks lineup for this contest, and up against them, a very strong Fijian side as well. It's going to be Joshua Vakunarabili, Josefa Talatholo, Jeremiah Matana, Waisena Thungu, also Sevu Mothinothangi, Felipe Satoranga, and Filippo Bukayaro. So that is the Fijian side. Hamish, which is favourites team to win, I believe, because it's being played in Cape Town. South Africa come as slight favourites, but Fiji, they certainly have the capabilities of being able to win this game. And if you're basing it off the performances of their last fixture, you'd say Fiji could be considered as that favourite. We have got winner of the quarterfinals. Hamish, time, please, says Tal. So I believe the first quarterfinal was at about 6:30 a.m. New Zealand time. The last one kicking off at about 8:05 a.m. But we will have the exact times. If you're looking for the one that Samoa will be playing in, more than likely that will be the second matchup. They'll be looking at about that 7 a.m. margin tomorrow morning. And also we have got there, do you support Mankading? Says, I'm not too sure what that is, but I do know that I support these two sides when they play in the Rugby Sevens circuit. And currently, just going to find those odds while we wait for the match to get underway. It's a try for Canada right at the end of the game by Lachlan Kratz. They might get themselves an upset win over France, and that would heavily benefit not just South Africa, but Fiji also, because at the end of the day, that would mean they both almost have their spots already secured. So Fiji actually $1.58 favourites going into this game. So they have got that slight margin in their favour. Looking through at the benches for this contest, it will be Branco Dupré, Zane Davids, who also brought up a milestone alongside Ryan Oosterhuizen, then James Murphy, Darren Adonis, and Delvin Blood, the last man in that South African lineup. Then for the Fijians, there's going to be Alasio Naduva, Mai Samoa, Ratu Ratheri, Walangi, and also Naya Thalevu. Oh, that's a new name. I was about to say Naya Thalevu, but it's actually Naya Thakalu. I believe it is the last man I see at 6 a.m. And I should mention that Samoa also have their upcoming game up against the Irish. That will be at 2:30 a.m. that it has taken place. Do you think Aussies were defensive, not given West Indies the follow-on? I think they were always going to be batting again, seeing as the temperature was pretty hot. They wanted to get a bit of batting under their belt as well. Fiji, of course, says Catherine, and good luck to both sides, says Nate. And also we have got there, the run-out rule in cricket, the one with the bowler getting the wicket, I guess, in that regard. And also goes South Africa, do your best, says Antoinette. And this game for me could be split by only a couple points. Speaking of being split by less than a couple points, France versus Canada still actually taking place, which is why the game between South Africa and Fiji has taken a bit longer to get underway. These two sides currently sitting at a drawn matchup of 12-12. If I had to pick a key player for both of these lineups, South Africa, JC Pretorius comes to mind. He was slightly quiet in that first game, but he's always dangerous when he has the ball in hand. France are going to win that match up against the Canadians, and because of that, it now means that it puts a bit more pressure on these two sides to be able to get a little bit further forward. And also we have got there, of course, you had to put Joe Marler in the thumbnail for Sharks versus Quins, and with him showing his signature eyebrow raising, just a cheap knockoff of Dwayne Johnson, says Connor Cahill. But there is reasoning behind it. I put him because I feel like he's probably the player that a lot of people consider the biggest aggressive part of the Harlequins, if that makes sense. Whereas for the Sharks, I put Eben Etzebeth because he is an absolute tank. And I think those two, when they go head-to-head, there's going to be some interesting conversations out there on the field, but also maybe some big shots put in there as well. And good old Joe, and go money go, says Anton there. And Hamish, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2023 by advance. See you soon after New Year. Before that, ta-ta, bye-bye, So we will see you later on. Amel has said go Fiji and 12th for the 12th, Monday, my birthday. Says Catherine there. So not too far away, only a couple more days till you do have your birthday bash. But now, speaking of bashing, that's a weird way of transitioning. But these two sides are about to go head-to-head, and there will be some massive shots put on between the number 1 South Africa versus the 5th-ranked Fiji. Amala can show a fighting side for sure. Otherwise, he'll become more comic relief, says Connor Cahill. And that match is going to be awesome. I think that's going to be the Champions Cup round, probably match of the round. To be honest, like Clermont versus Stormers, I think will also be pretty good. We're not going to be doing that one on the channel due to the overlaps that we do have. Plus, we will have to prepare for the quarterfinals of the Sevens. Fiji making their way out onto the field. Bakunara Billy's my Fijian player to watch out for, just with that extra size and the strength that he possesses. But now the South Africans. The Wate's also got to be worth a shout, because that man just keeps on going and going until his side get the victory. You see him celebrating when he's not even involved in a move. He just absolutely goes ecstatic. Jordan Way, 140th match, I believe it is, for the Sevens. And Marley can do anything, score tries, drop kick conversions. And is this happening in South Africa or New Zealand? It is happening in South Africa. The Cape Town Sevens. Big opportunity for South Africa to go back-to-back after being victorious in Dubai. Now, nothing beats Munster versus Toulouse. That's a game of the round. That is true. So I'll correct it. Game of the Saturday is going to be that matchup. Munster versus Toulouse, definitely going to be worth a watch when it takes place tomorrow. Going to be a big game. Hope it delivers, because it was actually that matchup last year, I believe, in the Champions Cup where they went to extra time. No one was able to split them, so they went to the shoot-off with the goal kicking. But Fiji about to kick this one off. Nathungu gets us underway for this matchup between South Africa and Fiji, and it's slapped back by the Fijians. Nicely claimed by Mothanofangi. Gets it off to Filippo Bukairaro, keeping it involved in that back line. Messed up Bukayaro's name a little bit, but now it's going to be Vakunura Billy. He's had a brilliant offload there, jumping through the tackle of JC Pretorius, looking for the charge. Oh, his foot was on the line, was it? No, they've said it's in the field of play. The wide cut-out pass, it's a loose one. It's like they're playing AFL out there, but the South Africans pick it up. That's a tackle without the ball. That's got to be an advantage, and it is. Advantage to the South Africans. Came off the foot, so the knock-on is not counted. Now Sawyer Wapi in the midfield. This game already in the first 40 seconds has had more action than some games have in the full 14. Fiji tap it back. Mothanofangi now going to pin the ears back, try and break through. Ryan Oosthuizen, the pass on the outside's impressive. Nadovalo scores, but at what cost? His ankle is not working at the moment. He is limping badly, but Fiji get themselves the first try of this contest. I mentioned it earlier on. He's not 100% here on the ankle, or the shin, or something around there. It's happened only twice in history. And also the second time in European Cup history that a penalty shootout was needed after extra time. It's a rarity that happens. So he's got on. Let's go Fiji, says Emilio. Come on, Fiji. Go nuts, the South African, says Emilio. A great bit of work from Nadovalo. The fact that his leg is so strapped, he's limping to the try line. I really hope we don't have to watch that man make a line break and run hard, because or else then it's going to really hurt him. And already the South Africans are $5.40 underdogs. Just like that, even though the Fijians have only got the one try on the board, there's certainly some money to be made in this contest for those who do a bit of betting on the side. But now, Nathungu about to kick it off again for the Fijians. No sloppiness, says Catherine, and Fiji will win this one, says Amel, and South Africa will win this one, says Migo. Nicely taken by the Wate. Keeps it on the side of South Africa now, 22 metres out from their own line. JC Pretorius tries to step. He slipped over, and that's happened many times throughout this Cape Town Sevens. Unfortunately, a lot of players losing their footing. And when are you streaming cricket next, says Ahmad? Well, we did stream it earlier on today, but the next time that we've got cricket is actually tomorrow for the first session of West Indies versus Australia. Ryan Oosthuizen, another big carry forward. The Wate fires it back across here. Good work from Shelton Van Veek with a nice cut-out pass. Now Muller Duplessis gives it one more. JC Pretorius down the left-hand side, slipping again. Get that man some longer studs in his boots. Because currently, it's like he's on a slip and slide. Now Duarte, another pass across. And Bevisa tries to go through. Good tackle made by was Jeremiah Matana. Duarte again goes to Shelton Van Veek. Sawyer's Wapi in the midfield. One more Pretorius. South Africa patient in the way they're building up here. Thought about the offload, instead just takes it to ground. To the right now, Rush defense from Fiji. Almost opened up the opportunity. Shilton van Wyk, he's going to kick it forward. He just needs the ball to sit up. It doesn't. South Africa get the try. In the end, because of that rush defense by Fiji, it created that gap on the outside. And Shilton van Wyk has been able to get himself a very handy try for the South Africans. Yesterday, both the football Qatar finals were interesting here. Both games going to the penalty shootout, which was something that was very surprising indeed. Shilton van Wyk, he's had to try and step his way through quite a few defenders throughout this seventh circuit, doing very nicely. Australia 169 for 5 after 29 or 28 overs. I'll actually quickly have a look at that at halftime because I know that Labuschagne recently lost his wicket when I stopped watching it. And also the Pakistan-England game. Pakistan got bowled out very quickly. So now England actually batting again, already 2 down. The live poll as it sits has Fiji in first place, South Africa in second. But whoever wins this game gets himself a nice little boost in the Cape Town Sevens Pool A. It's going to be taken by Vakunarabili. Tries to jump over. You're not allowed to do that. That's going to be a penalty. That's quite dangerous from Vakunarabili. It's almost the second time he's done that today. Just been told off. You're not allowed to jump into the tackle. Can be quite dangerous. And get a big flying knee. Yeah, he's just tried to pretty much go straight over the top of JC Pretorius, who had no idea what he was supposed to do with a big 120 kg Fijian about to land on him. Looks like they're going to go for the quick tap now, though, for South Africa. Duarte, they're going to go after the short side. He goes straight through almost. Beautiful offload to Miller du Plessis. And the South Africans get themselves another try. Like I mentioned, when they were $5.40 underdogs, there was money to be made, and now they've taken the lead back in this matchup. England 71 for 2. Says Keith there. Tosso Fiji, Tosso. Happy born day for the 12th, says Nate. And do you think England will beat Pakistan? It's a tough one to tell because the pitch certainly playing a lot quicker than it did last time. They just seem to be making really poor decisions with how to prepare their pitches in Pakistan currently. It's either a match will go 5 days, but it should have gone really 7 if they were having a regular run rate, or you're going to have a pitch that's going to pretty much have a result after day 2. Fiji going to win, boy. There's Anania. Hopefully I've said that correctly, but that is another try for the South Africans. They now sit 12 points to 7s up over the Fijians. The benefit, though, is the fact that one of those conversions has missed for the Blitzboks, means that if Fiji score and they convert, they'll take the lead back before heading into the second half. It's gone high, trying to line it up. It was a rough one. Fiji unable to get it with Felipe Satoranga and the line out. They've actually said it's going to be a South African line-out. Yeah, the touch judge had the wrong arm out there. I just had to confirm it. How much do you think England will need to make to win? Says Amar. By the looks of the pitch, they're probably only going to need about a 250, 300 lead, and they might be all right. And hey, thanks, Nate. Says Catherine there. About to be thrown in. Nicely taken by, was the big man, Nadovalo. And that can't be helping his injury, landing every time they have a line-out. Neither backline movement from the Fijians. It's a penalty to the Blitzboks, playing the ball on the ground. And now only 15 meters out from the line here. South Africa have a big decision. It looks like they will take the quick tap with Duarte. He's a dangerous, explosive player. Acceleration is 100 anytime he starts going. Now with 20 seconds left, looks like South Africa, they take another quick tap. They consider going short side. Instead, they will go off to the left. Shilton van Wyk gives it off to Ryan Oosterhuizen. A bit of a setup there, but was a high tackle from Vakunarabili. Another quick tap taken by Shilton van Wyk. Goes off now to JC Pretorius. Another step here. Big shot on the South African number 6. Safime Sawyers Wapi looked for the corner. He's been forced out. Possibly a try-saving tackle there. Hey, that's going to be halftime. Referee just having a bit of a chat with Vakunarabili. And I actually, to be fair to both Vakunarabili and the referee there, at least they've had that conversation now rather than having it happen again. He was just saying you're not allowed to jump into it. Vakunarabili was just confirming a couple of the rules, and we go into halftime. 12 points to 7 in favour of the home side, South Africa. And I was watching you with 6, says Barnes. And also come on Fiji onto it now, says Catherine. Yeah, they're going to have to fire back in the second half currently. South Africa $1.64 favourites to go on and win this game. I mentioned they were $5.40 earlier on. Maybe the TAB a bit too excited with the way that this match can seesaw. Looking through at the bench, you'd have to say there's a slight advantage for South Africa with the experience. Branko de Prea, Zane Davids, James Murphy, Darren Adonis, and Delvin Blood, one of the newer players in their Blitzboks 7 setup. Whereas for Fiji, you got Manueli, my son Moi, could be quite a handy player to have playing in a game. You won there, Ratura Theory, also been up for a try more recently. Tira Walangi, also Naya Kalu, and also they have got Naduva as the other replacement. Hit him hard, Fiji, says Emilio. And we've probably seen less physicality from the Fijians than I expected in the early stages of this match. And I don't know whether that's because South Africa can match up pretty well with that extra bit of strength, bit of physical power out there on the park. We've seen Fiji make 10 tackles, 2 missed tackles. We've actually only seen a singular tackle made by South Africa. So Fiji just need to try and pressure them a bit more position, and this game could get even closer. Go Fiji, go from Tanzania, says Joshua. So welcome him, and Siru Valu. Oh no, I've messed that up. Sorry, we'll try that again. Siru Vula. Hopefully I said it correctly. Sorry, I said it very so. Hope you're doing well. Here's going for Fiji. And this one, I'm watching you while in Qatar. I just wish my Blitzbok would win, says Barnes there. And they've got a decent chance. They won in Dubai. They'll be looking to make it back-to-back competitions at the start of the 7 circuit. And they have one loss last week, undefeated this week for South Africa. Slap back onto the side of Fiji. The Billy, awkward bouncing ball, but he's been able to take it nicely. 15 metres out from their own line now. Fiji look to attack with Mothin Othangi, the big man. A lot of pressure there in the breakdown from South Africa. Unfortunately, though, they were a little bit offside. Now, going off to the right-hand side here for the Fijians. And as we have got there, you gave up on the cricket, Hamish. Are you going to be doing any South African rugby games today? We are going to be doing the matchup between the Harlequins and the Sharks. But we didn't really give up on the cricket. We did confirm near the start of the live stream we were only doing session number 1. We did a bit of the lunch break as well, with Brian Lara facing off with Rashid Khan. Now Shelton Van Veek on the halfway line for South Africa. JC Pretorius almost through. Filippo Satoranga. Brilliant tackle made there, though. The halfway line. South Africa on attack. They've been looking very good with those handlings. With the handling of the ball, I should say. That's going to be another penalty. Believe it's offside. Never onside for the Fijians, and now 40 metres out. South Africa will have themselves another option of the quick tap. And also go Fiji from Palau, says Amelia there. And also come on Fiji from Kingston. Tosso Veti Tosso, it's your win, says Amelia. And come on South Africa, you can do it. Try at the net. We've got quite the split. Seems to be almost 50-50 between South Africans and Fijians in sport right. Nudovalo. Oh, in fact, sorry, it's actually Talatholo here. I don't think he's going to be able to continue. His leg, it wasn't working at the start of this match. He scored a try. He was lifted up in the line out. I hope he hasn't done any serious damage here, but he's going to be limping off the field now. Fiji will have to make the replacement. Talatholo actually hopping off the field, tried to walk on that leg. It's not looking good. And that's a massive hit for Fiji. When you look at their squad, it's one of the more dangerous of the players out there. It's going to be a big shame to not have him out there on the park. Right. Duarte. About to go for the quick tap. It looks like my son Moa is the man who's made his way out there onto the field now to replace Talatholo. Kick for touch by South Africa. 25 metres out in the line out in their favour. Still plenty of time left on the clock. 5.5 minutes. Delama said, go the box, go. And also we have got there, Jake said, go Africa. At the moment, all-time South Africa titles. Fiji have got 4. South Africa have also got those 4 in the bag. New Zealand have 11 at the moment. These two sides are probably the ones to beat when you're looking at it from New Zealand's perspective. Nice run from Duarte. He's going to get slung around by Vakurara Billy. No clear release, but he has driven back over the top. JC Pretorius now gives it to Visa on the outside. Ryan Oosterhuizen tries to cut up the middle, driven close to the touchline, just manages to keep their right foot in the field of play. Duarte back across as well. It's almost a bounce pass to Mala Duplessis. It's a knock on from Shilton Van Veek. And now Fiji, they will have a chance with the scrum. Where's Jerry, says Catherine. He's been out of the out of the Fijian 7 circuit all of this year. I believe his last competition almost would have been, he was there for the Commonwealth Games, I believe, but he was only as kind of an injury replacement. He didn't get a lot of time. I could be wrong there. It might have been actually the tournament before that for Jerry Dwyer. Mr. Super Rugby is coming back round. Only a couple months' time, and then the matchups will be getting underway for Super Rugby Pacific. Zane Davids makes his way onto the field now, whispers something in Reinald Stahazen's ear. Or ear, I should say, in 21-12 for Fiji. Says Anania and also go Fiji, says Emil. Bukayaro about to feed the ball in for the Flying Fijians. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be back for all of the other matches of the sevens that we can. We've got a few overlaps, but it's going to be a very exciting competition indeed. We're covering all the quarterfinals, which these two sides will be in. Good offload there. Now Mothinothangi gives it off. Fiji just a little bit indecisive with who they're going to be passing to in that backline. Bukayaro. In fact, it's Saturanga who takes the contact. Now Bukayaro gives it away to the right-hand side of Kurunabili. Once again, nice bit of work there from Bukayaro. Kurunabili has to play half. Fiji stuck on their own 22. Nathungu, he was almost through, and if he had just run, maybe he would have been right through the line. Short run from Saturanga. Great bit of stepping there from the Flying Fijian number 7. Offloaded the ball out the back. Going to be kicked back onto the side. Oh, it's a knock on from South Africa. They go and play on. Now they are going back for that knock on. Now with 3.5 minutes left on the board. Still only 5-point split these two sides. It's going to be a close finish. Cheetahs or Power. I haven't really seen the squads of either side. I'm not too sure who would be able to get themselves the win. Mike has said, go Fiji and show to them Fiji, says Kingston. Who scored for the Box, says Sonia. It was, who did score for the Box? Shilton Van Vyk got one of them, and then the second try was scored. I'm going to have to quickly check. It was Muller du Plessis. I should have known that. That was my bad. But yeah, Muller du Plessis and Shilton Van Vyk, 2 try scorers. And then for the Fijians, we saw this try scored by Talatolo, a man who's no longer out on the field due to his injury. Now, Filippo Bukayaro about to put the ball in for the Fijians again. It's fed in nicely. Looking for the offload out the back, and they've done just that. The Fijians trying to break through. Nathungu looks for the offload. It's loose, and Shilton Van Vyk picks it up. Great last-ditch tackle by Maisa Moore. Straight in there for Fiji. Oh, they've said it's for not rolling away. I think Maisa Moore did a pretty good job of getting out of that breakdown, but South Africa will get themselves that penalty. Last 5 penalties, they've actually all been against Fiji since the 5th minute of this contest. But Maisa Moore, he makes the tackle. Oh, yeah. I guess he rolled straight into the path of Safevi Sawyer's Wapi, which did cause him to lose his footing. So I can understand now why that was given as a penalty. Short ball. St. David's, another great tackle made by Fiji. These one-on-one challenges might be something to help them towards the victory. JC Pretorius through. Scores the try. And South Africa now, they'll have a 2-try lead going into the last 2 minutes of this Cape Town Sevens fixture. But JC Pretorius, before the match, I said he was my player to watch out for. Strong legs. He's just got a massive amount of driving towards that line, JC Pretorius. He's got that fight to keep on going. And just messing up there, unfortunately. A weak effort from Jeremiah Matana. Wasn't willing to put the body on the line there for the Fijians. Got wrong-footed. Nathunu tried to stop. Pretorius wasn't able to either. Let's go to Blitzboks, says Freddie. And also the Fiji flags from ML and Entertainment Rockin' Videos. It's got the Fiji flags. Rugby fans going for Fiji. There is a pool right next to the ground. Those people will be enjoying that thoroughly because at the end of the day, it's extremely hot in Cape Town. 1 minute 17. If Fiji score before the final whistle, it still means they get one more kickoff attempt. So that's what they'll be going for. Go, JC, go, says Delph there. Going to be kicked off short. Awkward one. Fiji claim it. And now breaking up the middle of the field. The big man going stride, and he's going to get caught. Looking for the offload. Wasn't able to find it in the end for Naya. Oh, it's a knock on, but that was Naya Whakalu. Almost through. Knock on advantage. And now it will be the scrum beat for South Africa. Brilliant chase from Darren Adonis. Zane Davids tried the ankle tap. He wasn't able to quite reach out far enough. The Fijians. One thing's for sure, these two sides are top contenders, and I think this game has proven it. They've matched each other pretty well. South Africa 3 tries on the ball compared to Fiji's 1. But the handling errors from both sides have probably been letting them down. 5 against Fiji, 3 against South Africa. If they can sort that out before they get into their finals games, where they will be going head-to-head with some very tough opposition, probably Argentina and New Zealand at this point. Going to be some great matchups coming in the future. Penalty to South Africa with 5 seconds left on the clock. I think if you're South Africa here, you just take the quick tap, you kick it into touch, and you say thanks very much for coming. But 6 penalties against the Fijians in this game compared to the 0 against the South Africans. And also, is that the real score? Doesn't sound like it, according to my neighbor, says Josisi. It is indeed South Africa winning this contest 17 points to 7 over the Fijians with the 3 tries. Let's see JC Pretorius get 1, Muller Duplessis get another, and then Shilton Van Wyk has done very nicely. And luckily, I put my wedding ring on the Springboks, says Aiden. And there we got very lucky in that regard. But like I mentioned, when they were $5.40 underdogs, I couldn't quite believe it. They were only down by 1 try. They were always going to fire back late. Fiji, they just weren't quite able to get over the line as many times as they would have liked. Once they get rid of some of those handling errors in the penalty count, though, they will certainly be a tough side to beat in Cape Town, Africa. On top, says Jake. And also, well done. 3 tries to the 1, says Delph. And there, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the last live stream that we have got for another hour and 15 minutes. The next game that we are doing, it's actually another Fijian match, but it is the women's side. Will be Fijiana taking on New Zealand. A little bit later on in the day, we have got the Champions Cup fixture between the Sharks and the Harlequins. Alongside that, we will be doing Samoa versus Ireland, and then South Africa versus France just a little bit later. Wait for the next game. Exactly right. They're going to be playing the Canadians. Should be a relatively comfortable win, I feel, in favor of the Fijians. And they'll look to continue towards those quarterfinal games. The first of which going to be taking place at 6:37 a.m. New Zealand time. Second quarterfinal, 7:05. And I believe the ones that will be involving these sides who were just competing, the game at 7:35 and the game at 8:03 a.m. tomorrow morning. That will be the quarterfinal matches that you will certainly not want to miss. Both of these sides going to be putting in 110%. My slight concern for Fiji at the moment is the fact that Talafolo, unfortunately, the injury coming early in this game, he already had it coming into the match, and I think he's just worsened it. Hopefully, he's going to be all right to continue. Maybe they don't play him up against Canada. See if he's better tomorrow when they do play, or later on in the evening, I should say, when they play in their quarterfinal game. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 22,000. So if you want to help us out, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all for Fijiana versus New Zealand in about an hour and 15 minutes time. Stay safe. We'll see you all later.